Hello and welcome to all the viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime and Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Edikan Michael. President Bola Tinubu have returned to Nigeria after a 2-week private visit to Paris, France. The president was received by top government officials, including his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Also in the receiving line were the Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Henneken Labobiri, the Director General of the Department of State Service Yusuf Bichi, among others. President Bola Tinubu has reiterated his administration's commitment to ending the insecurity plaguing the country. The president stated this when he inducted the T-129 attack combat helicopters and Working Air Beechcraft 360ER mobility aircraft for use by the Nigeria Air Force. Represented by his Vice President Kashim Shettima, the president said the acquisition of the helicopters and the induction symbolized a commitment of his administration to the nation's security. The president said that the acquisitions and induction of the new platforms would improve NAV's air power in the ongoing war against terrorism. The Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions has postponed its interactive session with the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, till February 9th at 9 a.m. This was announced by the chairman of the committee, Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, after waiting for close to 2 hours for the CBN governor on the planned interviews. Kike Okere has more details.
The Lagos lawmaker explained that the postponement of the interactive session was due to CBN governor being held back in the House of Representatives, trying to address some economic issues. He further stressed that the interactive session was moved to Friday so it could meet with service chiefs to also address some other challenges facing the country. The chairman of the committee revealed that there will be a session with the service chiefs on Wednesday, which according to him extends to Thursday because it also has to do with issues of very serious concerns of the country.
The essence of the meeting, of course, very obvious to all of us, which has to do with the current economic situation in the country. Now, but somehow the CBN governor has been held back in the House of Reps, also trying, of course, on the part of the House of Reps, they also are trying to also do some sort of consultation with him regarding the situation of the economy as well. So that is how come this has been somehow delayed. And the sense is that perhaps they're just rounding up, and we don't know exactly when they will be done, to be frank. And on our part too, we also believe that we should be rational, and in terms of trying to see reasons with both our brothers in the House of Reps and the sisters in the House of Reps, and of course the CBN governor. And to that extent, it will appear that on our part we'll have to adjourn ours, and till Friday the 8th, the 9th of February. And the reason too, I think I should explain. Tomorrow there is a session with the service chiefs, and of course that might extend to Thursday, because it's also there are issues of very serious concerns to us.
It could be recalled that the committee, in response to the Naira collapse to 1,520 to US dollars, summoned the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Kadoso, to speak on the status of the economy and the free flow of Naira on the foreign exchange market. Kike Okere, Global Television News.
The Senate has postponed the session on the briefing by service chiefs regarding insecurity until February 13, 2024. According to the Senate, the adjournment will allow for the participation of all those involved in national security management. The lawmakers were scheduled to hear from the security chiefs in the Senate chamber about the nation's increasing level of insecurity. But due to the decision to expand the briefing, the Senate had to reschedule the meeting. The motion to adjourn the security briefing by the service chiefs was moved by the leader of the Senate, Senator Abayomi Bamidele, and was seconded by the minority leader of the Senate, Senator Abba Moro. Senate President Godswill Akpabio, while approving the adjournment, noted that the Senate would like holistic deliberations on the insecurity. The federal government says Central Motor Registry is designed to ensure the protection of Nigerians by the Nigeria Police Force Farm. criminals and challenges of stolen vehicles. The Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Police Affairs, Sani Gwazo, stated this during a two-day stakeholders conference on improving internally generated revenue for the ministry, with the theme Strategies and Enhancing Internally Generated Revenue in Abuja. Sharon Adeji has more details.
Speaking at the event, the Permanent Secretary says the Central Motor Registry is a lifetime guarantee that will protect the citizens and their property whenever there are issues of armed robbery, kidnapping and theft by criminals in the country. Adding that the Central Motor Registry will help to review the history and antecedent of the vehicle being purchased from other countries.
To give you an example, if you are to purchase a car in Nigeria today, you are most likely going to purchase an imported used car. Do you know the origin of that vehicle? Where does it come from? Was there an armed robbery to pick it and sell it? And if the vehicle is traced to a Nigerian buyer, what will be the name of that buyer? Now, Nigeria has joined an Interpol system where if you just log in, register the identity of that vehicle, it immediately tells you the history, the antecedents of that car, and then you get a certificate. If tomorrow something happens and somebody in another country raises alarm, his car has been stolen or armed robbery or somebody has been killed using that car, and it is traced to you, nobody will pick you. Nigeria police will protect you. And that is the essence of having that kind of registration, and that is the essence of making sure that Nigerians are protected.
He further reels out that the essence of the certificate of registration and that of the automation of the police specialized services such as character certificate, motor vehicle registration and others had made the service delivery seamless as it stopped extortion and people traveling from the 36 states to Abuja to get the services. Adding that it will improve the quality of services and operation of the Nigerian police force, saying it is not peculiar to Nigeria alone, it is practiced in America and Europe.
For that service to continue to flow, some token is being charged, and that is being not well understood by the general public. Is a token if you look at it, but it gives you a lifetime guarantee. By the time you register your vehicle, you now get the certification, you come back and something happens, it's the Nigerian police that will protect you. I give you another example. Many countries will ask for character certification before they give visa or before you travel and stay abroad in a country. That is a service that is provided by the police. Now, that service needs to continue. That service needs to be improved. We don't want a situation where you are living in Maiduguri or Sokoto or Port Harcourt or Lagos, or you have to come back to Abuja headquarters of police to apply for character certificate. We want it to be a seamless process. You do it online, you get your certificate, provided you provide all the information, pay a token at your desktop, and that's all.
Earlier, the Director of Finance and Accounts, Bakre Juliana Modupe, reviewed that the budget every year always records deficit, and based on this development, Mr. President has mandated everybody in the revenue generation in MDAS to be up and doing on improving the revenue of the entire federation to tackle developmental projects in the country. She says the program is essential to the existence of the nation as the Minister of Police Affairs is occupying a critical position in the process of improving revenue.
You know, we expect the participants to pay rapt attention so that whatever it is, there will be so many things to take home from here, and to also, you know, there's this thing called train the trainer, that when you get back to your various bases, you also devolve the information and the knowledge you have gathered to every other person there to improve everything about the nation.
The conference, which was organized to acquaint the participants to improve their level of contribution to the internal general revenue and brainstorm on the challenges in it. The Permanent Secretary further noted that it would enable the participants to explore ways of embedding the culture of professionalism and accountability in the revenue generation activities. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The governor of the Central Bank, Oleyemi Kadoso, the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and his counterpart in the Ministry of Budget, National Planning, Atiku Bangudu, has assured Nigerians that the high cost of living being witnessed by Nigerians is currently being addressed. Speaking in similar vein, the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, IFRS, Saj Adejeji, says the federal government is doing everything possible to calm the current inflation in the country. These assurances were made in separate presentation by the country's economic team in Abuja while appearing at the sectoral debate organized by the House of Representatives during the plenary for the finance sector and the current cost of living in the country. Kike Okere has more details.
In his presentation, the Minister of Finance explained that the country is where it is at the moment due to a series of poor economic policies over the years, adding that the cost of living has spiked as the result of inflation.
In agriculture, if we need to stabilize the economy, two things need to happen. Inflation needs to be tackled. The governor of Central Bank has said what is being done. He has announced his targets for inflation, and the fact that inflation targeting will be a key element of the strategy, which is right because they're in charge of the targets of monetary policy. But in addition to that, when you look at inflation, a large element is food inflation. In fact, food inflation accounts for 33% of the consumer price index. So when you attack food production, raise food production, you bring down the price of food, you bring down inflation, you get a chance to bring down interest rates, and there lies the road to investment.
For the Minister of Budget and National Planning, Atiku Bangudu says the current economic challenges faced is being looked into with a strategic plan to resolve the challenge.
This challenge does not come unanticipated. We reckon with global challenges that are impacting us domestically, and we reckon with the transitional nature of some of the measures that we have taken. And we know that they will have some impacts. But there are compensatory mechanisms. One of it is to support domestic production, particularly one that we are most familiar with, 36 states of Nigeria plus FCT. Agricultural production is a major component, and as well as other activities for which infrastructure for which funding has been generously provided in the budget.
The CBN governor says, though the high cost of living still remains a concern, he assured that the Central Bank of Nigeria is working assiduously to bring lasting solution to bring down inflation to 21.4% through improved agricultural productivity.
We are aware that the twin challenges of inflation and exchange rate depreciation on our economy are daunting. However, they are not insurmountable. Monetary policy actions are sometimes inhibited by transmission lags. Nonetheless, it is expected that the policy measures implemented by the bank will permeate the economy in the short to medium term.
Just 1 more minute, sir.
Inflation pressures may persist, albeit temporarily, but are expected to moderate significantly by the quarter of 2024. Exchange rate pressures are also expected to reduce with a smooth functioning of the foreign exchange market. We are committed to implementing policies that will ensure a stable macroeconomic environment and guarantee improved livelihoods for all Nigerians.
On his part, the executive chairman of Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adedeji, allays fears that the federal government is planning to increase tax. He says the service is re-strategizing on ways that will yield positive results for the economy.
We have the target for this year, based on the approved budget, to collect 19.2 trillion, which is 7.2 trillion more than what we actually collected this year. And given this economic condition and with the promise of Mr. President that we are not going to introduce additional tax, we are not tax net. So without increasing the tax rate, that will be able to meet the targets.
In his response to the financial expert, the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Benjamin Kalu, says it is imperative to recognize the urgency and importance of the agenda before it. He says they must confront the stark reality of economic, fiscal and revenue challenges that the country is currently facing.
We must adopt to address the multifaceted challenges that confront us. Through synergy, we can align our strategies, consolidate our efforts, and amplify the impact of our initiatives. In the face of global economic shift and domestic challenges, it is clear that robust reform measures are not just beneficial but imperative. We are at a pivotal moment where the decisions we make and the policies we implement will impact the lives of millions of Nigerians. The reform we envisage should not only address the immediate needs, but also lay a foundation that is resilient with a dynamic framework that can adapt to future challenges and opportunities.
The sectoral debate is expected to continue on Wednesday when other areas of the economy will be discussed. Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Women in agriculture has appealed to the federal government for financial support to boost agricultural activities in the country. The women made the appeal at the strategy meeting of the agricultural stakeholders in Abuja. Queen Agaba has the details.
According to reports, women contribute 70% of the Nigerian agricultural labor force in Nigeria. The majority of the agricultural work, including crop cultivation, livestock rearing, processing and marketing, is performed by women. While women are the primary contributors to Nigerian agriculture, their contributions and the challenges they face are not always recognized and adequately addressed. This has propelled the gathering of women in agriculture as well as grassroots women farmers convened by the National Coordinator, Nigerian Women for Agricultural Progress, Omolara Abati Stevenson, to advocate the recognition of women in agriculture.
They will call 1 billion here. They will call 100 billion there. They say they give to farmers. Then I'll go to Fashola, Igangan, Shaki. These are my own local government area. And I will see my farmers, especially with the women, because now they do this job, living in penury, going to collect loan shark, what we call in Yoruba land, Gbomule Lanta, Lapo, to buy 2 bags of fertilizers. And at the end of the day, they cannot pay the money back. They will not lock them up in local latrine for the weekend. I want government to look at this whole agricultural issue in one direction. Say all this while that they have been giving this intervention to our gas, our daddies, why is it that our food output they reduce year by year? Thank you. But the money where then they give, they increase year by year. Every year, Mr. President, sir, they increase intervention for farmers. Every year, our production reduces in agriculture. Today, with my money at hand, Oyo State, Kwara State, Osun, today I cannot get 20 trailers of corn. Hold your money in your hand like this. Go to the 3 states I call from morning till night. If you get 25 trailer of corn from farmers, and it's not like there are no lands to farm. It's not like our women are not willing to farm. But the disconnect, Mr. President, sir, we are using this medium to talk to you and to beg you and to plead with you again. Please, work directly with the women farmers.
Speaking on the prevailing challenges of women farmers in Nigeria, especially in the Northwest, the coordinator for the Northwest, Asma Begum Miza, calls for government intervention in terms of insecurity and financing.
I'm a rice farmer. I've never seen a single bag of fertilizer given to me. We want the present administration to have a separate funding separate implement supply, separate fertilizer arrangement for the women that should go to them directly. Just give it to us directly, whatever you want to give it to us. We'll be accountable for it and we will bring results.
We have a lot of challenges. I have my land of farming rights. The number one something now is insecurity in my state. The inputs, the like fertilizer, if they said, for instance, some months back, they shared the federal government release the fertilizers, which have been seen that we didn't get to the right women.
They further call on the government to bridge the gender gap, improve women's access to resources and opportunities, and ensure that their contributions are recognized and valued. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
Nigerian Navy says the troops of Operations Delta Sanity have intercepted 4,036 barrels of crude oil and 270,600 liters of illegally refined AGO, valued at 1.05 billion naira, from oil thieves in 1 week. The Director of Naval Information, Rear Admiral Adetunde Ayun, made this known in Abuja on the operations conducted by the Navy between January 29 and February 4th. Ayo said the operations also led to the deactivation of 40 wooden boats, 55 illegal refining ovens, 49 reservoirs, 27 digit and 19 illegal refining sites. According to him, the various NN platforms deployed for the operation have continued to conduct aggressive patrols to combat oil theft within Nigeria's maritime environment. The Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale, has presented the Service 2024 budget to the Senate Committee on Customs at the National Assembly. Adeniyi, while defending the 2024 budget of 706.43 billion naira, said that the attention will be on consolidating carried over projects, increasing staff welfare by improving and motivating officers' performance and integrating technologies into custom processes. Regarding officers' welfare, Adeniyi mentioned that officers will be encouraged in various ways to increase efficiency and improve their well-being. He stated that this will be done through awards, promotions, and payment of allowances. Additionally, the Customs Board pledges to surpass the revenue target of 5.079 trillion naira in 2024. Chairman and CEO of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, has said that a total of 15 drug kingpins out of 3,412 offenders that were successfully prosecuted and convicted in the 2023 bagged 168 years of imprisonment collectively. Marwa disclosed this while addressing men of the agency during an awards and commendation ceremony at the national headquarters in Abuja, where a total of 104 personnel and 18 commands that had outstanding performances in the second half of 2023 were recognized and rewarded. The NDLEA boss also explained that to create awareness about the dangers of substance abuse, aim at prevention and encourage those already in to seek treatment. The agency identified its war against drug abuse advocacy initiative nationwide. The Director General of the Police, Kayode, has deployed a new Commissioner of Police, CP Ayura, to Akwa Ibom State Command. CP Ademola takes over from Olatoye Dosoromi, who has been elevated to AIG Zone 2, Lagos. The new Akwa Ibom CP holds a law degree from the University of Ibadan, a Bachelor of Law from the Nigerian Law School, Lagos, and a Master of Law from the University of Lagos. Added that the new CP, in his maiden meeting with senior officers of the command, assured his readiness to operate an open-door policy to enhance policing, warning them to maintain professionalism while performing their duties. The Independent National Electoral Commission has slated a supplementary elections in Taraba and a new rerun election in Enugu State for February 14. The Commission said that this is in a statement by Samuel Olumekun, National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee in Abuja. Olumekun said that the decision was taken by the Commission at its Tuesday regular meeting where it deliberated, among other issues, the outcome of Saturday rerun by elections. The elections was held in 9 constituencies to fill vacant seats resulting from the demise or resignation of members elected during the 2023 general election, both at national and state houses of assembly. And you're watching News Prime coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us all the social media platforms using at Global TV NG and all the handles now shown on the screen. And when News Prime returns, US gives assurance to unlock investment in Nigeria's mining sector. The news continues shortly with detail of these and more stories right after this break. Do stay with us. This is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Prime. Many thanks for staying with us. On a foreign scene, at least 22 people were killed in two separate bomb blasts outside poll candidate offices in southwestern Pakistan, officials said on the eve of an elections marred by violence and allegations of poll rigging. The first attack occurred near the office of an independent candidate in Pikshin district, around 50 kilometers from the city of Quetta and around 100 kilometers from the border with Afghanistan. Caretaker Information Minister for Baluchistan Province Jan Aziaz and Quetta police boats put the death toll from the blast at a dozen, with 25 more wounded. According to Aziaz, a second blast hit near the election office of a candidate for the Islamist Jamiat F party in the city of Kila Saifullah, about 120 kilometers east. Two amber weather warnings for snow have been issued by the Met Office. Both will come into effect on Thursday, with the first covering North Wales and Northwest South Suffolk, and the other at the Peak District and South Pennines. The warning in Wales lasts from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m., while the one for the Peak District starts at 12 p.m. on Thursday and continues until 6 p.m. The amber warning for Wales and Northwest says now and ice is expected to cause disruption. A quick look at business. The United States of America yesterday assured to unlock investment in Nigeria's mining sector. This was one of the heels of the follow-up to last week's Abuja meeting with the United States Deputy Chief of Mission, David Green. The Minister of Solid Minerals and Development, Dela Aleke, who led the Nigerian government delegation that met the delegation of the U.S. government led by the senior advisor to the U.S. President on Energy and Infrastructure, Amos Oshitins, on the sidelines of the ongoing investing in Africa in Durban, Cape Town, South Africa. The U.S. government gave the assurance based on the resolve to strengthen collaboration between Nigeria and the United States on mining development, for which both countries have formed a working group to come up with the modalities of the partnership. The federal government and its Angolan counterpart have officially united to enhance water supply and power generation within their respective borders. The collaborative effort was formalized during the crucial meeting when Dr. Jose, the Angolan ambassador to Nigeria, paid a courtesy visit to the Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Yusuf, and his state counterpart in Abuja. During the meeting, Yusuf underscored the significance of this partnership, stressing the need for both nations to exchange technical expertise and knowledge in pivotal sectors. He highlighted the primary focus on improving citizens' lives through advancements in water supply and hydropower generation, acknowledging the necessary for global support in achieving universal access to clean and safe water. Yusuf welcomed an invitation from the Bambukina to visit Angola and foster more robust partnership across various mutually beneficial areas. The value of foreign exchange transactions recorded in the official Nigerian autonomous foreign exchange market has risen to $584 million, according to data posted on the FMDQ exchange. This represents a significant increase from the $440 million daily transaction previously recorded in the platform. Meanwhile, according to data from the FMDQ Security Exchange, the forex turnover has increased to $584.53 million on Tuesday from $440.13 million recorded on Monday, indicating an increase of $114.4 million or 3.28%. The improved liquidity is the following move by the Central Bank of Nigeria to stabilize the foreign exchange rate. However, aside from the commercial banks, the Central Bank of Nigeria, all firms and multinationals also sell dollars at the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market. The Nigerian Communications Commission has appealed to state and local government councils across the country to cut taxes imposed on telecom companies, asserting that excessive taxation will be counterproductive to the growth of the industry. The federal government, in its 2024 to 2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper, said it will implement a 5% executive exercise duty on telecommunications services to boost its revenue base. According to MIDA, the NCC management has decided to embark on nationwide advocacy to appeal to state and local government as well as other stakeholders on the need to reduce levies that impose on the operators, especially the right of way charges and other multiple taxes. The Nigerian Customs Service Federal Operations Unit, Zone A, Keja, has disclosed that it's intercepted 11 imported used vehicles and other contraband worth 854 million naira in January. The Customs Area Comptroller Usens disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday. He said that during the period under review, the command recorded a total of 60 seizures comprising different contraband. A journalist also said that the first month of this year, 10 suspects were arrested in connection with the various seizures. Other items seized include 3,653 bags of foreign parboiled rice, 50 kg each, equivalent to 6.5 trailer loads, 23,025 liters of petroleum motor spirit, 241 bales of used clothes, and 1,490 kg of Indian ham. The federal government is now implementing measures to significantly reduce the cost of liquefied petroleum gas, popularly called coking gas. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Gas, EPO, announced this. It disclosed this at a stakeholders consultative meeting in Abuja that had international and indigenous oil companies, major and independent oil marketers, LPG dealers, regulators, among others, players in attendance. The scheme as a total gas debt to gas producing firms was now $1.3 billion, and this was negatively impacting on investment in the sector. In his address during the meeting, EPO emphasized that the federal government had decided to focus on 3 priority areas to ensure sustainable development in the country's gas sector. On in sports, South Africa head coach Bruce has said his side is motivated to play against Nigeria in the semi-finals of the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. He stated this during a pre-match conference, said that getting to the semi-finals was a motivation for them based on the country's recent performance at the AFCON. The meeting both sides goes beyond just a semi-final fixture, and the clash rekindles the rivalry between both nations on various fronts and these supremacies of the pitch of play. This will, however, be the 4th encounter between Nigeria and South Africa in AFCON, with the Super Eagles winning the previous 3 games with an aggregate score of 8-1. And that is it on News Prime, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles now shown on the screen. I am Edikan Michael. Many thanks for watching.